Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, let's discuss about a famous algorithm called bag of words. Bag of words is a feature extraction technique we use in natural language processing. It converts the words or text in our corpus into numbers so that we can feed the numbers to a machine learning model. Note that we cannot feed the text directly to a model. We need to convert the text into some numerical representation, which is also called as extracting the features. So we use this bag of words technique to extract the features so that we convert the text in our corpus into numerical form. So bag of words name came from the idea that bag is like collection. So bag of words is nothing but a collection of unique words that are present in our corpus. So let's take a few sentences or documents. So in natural language processing, the term sentence and document are used interchangeably. So we could call this piece of text to be a document in the sense like this text came from a document, or we could also call it like a sentence. For the purpose of this video, we'll treat each piece of the text as a document. So consider these below documents as an example. The first one is the cat sat on the mat, and the second document is the cat and the rat. So let's see how we use bag of words to extract the numerical representation of these documents. Bag of words is basically a word frequency based technique. That means we count the number of times each word has appeared in the document. So what we actually do is we'll create the vocabulary or dictionary of unique words present in our corpus. So in our case, these two documents form our corpus. So this is the entire data that we have. So from this data, we extract the unique words. So you could see I have enumerated here the unique words. The cat sat on. This the we are not adding because we have already counted the ones. And mat, and similarly from the second document the came already. Cat also we have added already. So we are adding and rat. So now we have created the vocabulary or dictionary of unique words in our corpus. The next thing that we need to do is we need to construct the document term matrix. So what is this document term matrix? It is basically a matrix containing all the documents as rows and all the unique words or terms as columns, and for each document we represent how many times that particular term or the word in our vocabulary has appeared in our document. So I have written document 1, document 2 and all the vocabulary that we have created. So in the first document we can see that the has appeared 2 times. So I have written 2 here, and cat has appeared 1 time. So I have added 1, and the sat has appeared 1 time, on has appeared 1 time, mat has appeared 1 time. And is not part of the first document, so that's why we are putting 0 here, and rat is also not part of first document, so we have also put 0 here. Similarly, if we do the same thing for document 2, in this document term matrix, the has appeared 2 times in the second document as well, cat has appeared 1 time, sat has not appeared anywhere in the second document, so that's why I have put 0 here. On has not appeared in the document 2. Similarly, mat also hasn't appeared in the document 2, but and rat has appeared each 1 time, so I have put 1 here. So this particular representation, whatever we have, 2 1 1 1 1 1 and 0 0, is nothing but the bag of words representation for this document. So what we did is basically we got all the unique words in our corpus and created a matrix out of it, and for each document we have enumerated how many times that particular word in our vocabulary has appeared and counted that frequency and put it as a feature for that particular word. So this is the bag of words representation for document 2. So this bag of words representation is nothing but a vector or numerical representation of each of the text or document in our corpus. So let's understand are there any applications of bag of words. So we could use bag of words for text classification to detect whether an email is spam or not spam. So basically we could rely on the frequency of certain words in the bag of words representation of the email. So email is also nothing but some piece of text, right? Similar to this text, we can extract the text of email and convert it into the bag of words representation like this, and we could determine based on the frequency of certain words like cash price or dollars. You have won this many dollars. These are all spam emails, right? The marketing emails that we generally get. So we can identify such words, and based on the frequency of them we could set some rules and classify a particular email to be spam or not. Similarly, we can also use it for document similarity calculation. So let's say we have two documents, document 1 and document 2, with some text. We could get the bag of words representation like this in the vector form, and we could calculate the similarity between the two vectors like by using the cosine similarity, and depending upon that score we can determine how similar the two documents are. So this document similarity could be used in applications like search ranking. So let's say we have a query in some e-commerce website that I have typed to get the results, like I want to identify some green color striped shirt. So I would have description of each of the product in the e-commerce website. So I would calculate bag of words representation for each of the product, the description of each of the product, and try to see the similarity with the query, and rank based on the similarity and return the top results. So this is also one of the application. Now let's discuss the pros or advantages of this bag of words technique. So it is easy to implement, like we have seen in the previous page. It's easy to implement. We just need to build this matrix and calculate the frequency of each of the term, and out comes the vector representation of each document. So it is easy to implement, and it is also very fast. Like the computational resources required for implementing this algorithm is also less, and it is also easy to interpret for us humans. Like the bag of words algorithm is simpler in that sense that we can easily understand it. So now let's understand the cons of bag of words. So the first con of bag of words is loss of context. So basically bag of words ignores the order of words. That means the bag of words representation that we get from the text will lose the context and meaning that the word order will provide. Let's take an example. We have two sentences: dog bites man and man bites dog. So if we represent the bag of words representation for these two sentences, the output would be same because we are using a frequency based approach. So dog has appeared once, bites has appeared once, man has appeared once. Similarly in this also the frequency of the words is same, so the output representation for both of these sentences is same. So if we feed such representation to any machine learning model, obviously the model would confuse, right? So it loses the context. So the second disadvantage is high dimensionality. So if we have a very large corpus, like in the previous example we only had two sentences, but still the vector size is, you could say it's like in the order of 10. So if you have a very huge corpus with lots of documents, so there would be a lot of words, right? So in that case the representation of each document would be very large. So because of that it would be very difficult for the machine learning models to do the computation, because a lot of computation is required to store the vector representation of each document and also do some computation. It could also lead to the curse of dimensionality depending on some of the machine learning algorithms that we use. Suppose if you are using some distance based metrics in the machine learning models, then this high dimensionality can lead to the curse of dimensionality as well. The third problem is sparse representation. Like most of the documents will only have a small subset of the total vocabulary. So the total vocabulary is nothing but the unique words present in all the documents that we have, right? But most of the time what happens is each document will have only a subset of the total vocabulary. That will result in sparse vector representation with a lot of zeros in the bag of words representation. So this sparsity can make it harder for machine learning models to learn effectively. So if you see the previous example that I have shown, you could see the second word, you could see 3 zeros. So these terms are not present in document 2. So because of that we had to put 0. So if you have a very large corpus with huge vocabulary, then most of the uh, columns would be zeros only. So the representation that we get out would have a lot of zeros and very few values actually. So the information is very sparse and we are doing a lot of waste computations, and also it will be very difficult for the machine learning models to learn anything that is useful with these sparse representations. So the fourth disadvantage is lack of semantic understanding. So the bag of words will treat each word as independent entity. So if there are synonyms in our corpus, the synonyms will be treated as different words altogether. So even though the meaning of the word is same, but the word is having two different forms, the bag of words will treat both of them as different words and it will give a different representation. And another issue is like we have words like Python, bank, which would have different meaning based on the context, right? Like Python could be a programming language or it could be a reptile like the snake, and bank could mean an institution like financial institution, or it could also be a river bank. So depending on the sentence and usage, the meaning changes. But bag of words treats each of the words as like irrespective of the context. It will only take the word and its frequency. So if you have documents speaking about Python programming language, and also a few documents that are speaking about the snakes, where Python has appeared a lot of times, then the bag of words representation for both the documents which are talking about the programming language and the snakes would be closer, like, because in both the documents the Python word would appear a lot of times, its frequency would be high, and when we calculate the similarity score, both the documents would might appear to be similar based on the similarity score using this bag of words representation. So it would also confuse the machine learning models while learning. So these are the disadvantages of bag of words technique. So it's a simpler technique that we can use to quickly do some testing about on the corpus and see how the results are and improve upon using some more advanced techniques like TF-IDF and other feature extraction techniques like word embeddings and all, which we'll cover in future. So let's end this video here. Thank you everyone for watching the video.